Our flights were canceled, and Amy, I'm sorry. I know we were supposed to MC. How's it been?
Did we miss anything? No?
Oh.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
Battleground.
Okay.
We can do that.
Right.
Okay.
God, you look good, Tim.
Thanks. You're looking good, too. You know, my back really hurts, though.
Same with mine.
It is. It's like, God, it's awful.
Anyway. All right.
All right.
We are going to do the Battleground. Apparently you did it yesterday. We're going to do it again today. We have a bunch of people up today. So let's welcome back our judges.
Carrington Carter.
Travis Wilburn.
There we go.
And CJ Cornelius the third Stam.
Come on, give him a hand.
We had thought about doing that dating game song, but
sorry,
I guess we won't do it.
Dating game. Okay.
Welcome back, guys. Hopefully you're ready to be a little tougher than you were yesterday. I thought they were a little soft. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Do you guys want them to be tough? Oh, no, our first contestant.
Feel free to chime in.
Great.
All right. Are you ready?
All right, so remember how we're doing this. We have 5 minutes of presentation, then 5 minutes of Q&A, and if you go over, we let you know it. Okay?
Sounds good.
So our first presentation is for Maureen Schilling. And Rev Max.
Thanks, guys. Okay. Let's see if I can work the remote here. Okay, RevMax is a revenue management system that was created by revenue managers. Okay, so my name is Maureen Schilling, for those of you who don't know me, and I am one of the co-founders along with Desiree Garcia, and I've been in the hospitality industry for 22 years and in revenue management for 18 of those years. So RevMax offers 5 different pricing methods. 3 of those I'm going to tell you about today. The 5 methods are market-based pricing, competitive set pricing, length of stay pricing, occupancy-based pricing, and historical-based pricing. So the top 3 are our newest features. Okay, market-based pricing. So most of you have heard of dynamic pricing tools. This is what is known as market-based pricing. So with market-based pricing, you have a system that goes out into the market, and it's going to take a radius of inventory, and it's going to choose inventory that is comparable to segments of your inventory, like your 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, based upon number of bedrooms and specific attributes. So that is what the market-based pricing tool does. In our system, we've designed it so that you can also set your base price by day, set a floor rate by day. So this is your way of being able to go in and make modifications as you need. And you can easily enable this for 1 or all of your units, so you do not need to have it enabled for all of your inventory. Competitive set pricing. Okay, so competitive set pricing, that takes market-based pricing and it hones it down into specific competitors. So you know your inventory. If you have a condo building and you have 4 rentals in that building, and you have a competitor that also has 4 rentals in that building, you may just want to select only those competitors, because those are the truest competitors to your inventory. And so this gives you the ability to select only the competitors that you want to price your segment of inventory against. Okay, and then the length of stay pricing. So this is the one that's sort of a game changer. Length of stay pricing means that you've established that you need a certain stay value for your for a transaction. Right, so in the summertime, you have a 7-night minimum for your inventory, and you have determined that you need to get $700 for that. Length of stay pricing enables you to configure in your system where you can sell that 7-night, you can sell a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6-night stay, and still get the exact same stay value that you're searching for. Okay, so length of stay pricing. This makes nightly minimums completely obsolete, because if you're really going for just a certain stay value, if you're thinking about a transaction based on stay value, then you don't really need to look at nightly minimums anymore. So this kind of throws out the need for nightly minimums and replaces it with looking at a value-based transaction. Okay, how important is it? So for those of you who are just in the teaming presentation, you saw Jeff's numbers. So Jeff said that of the $25 million that his company brought in, $8 million could be attributed to his implementation of length of stay pricing. So it's very powerful when layered on top of your already dynamic pricing strategy. Okay, so who can use RevMax? So RevMax has been a little quiet because we have been part of Streamline VRS. So we were built to serve the clients of Streamline VRS, but we will be coming to market at the end of 2021, integrating with other software companies. So services and more. So RevMax isn't just doesn't just have pricing tools. So because we are revenue managers, we care about creating a revenue management culture within your companies. So we do offer pricing methods, but we also offer business intelligence because you need a way to gauge if those pricing methods are effective. And then we also offer training and revenue management support so that you can you can train your own people how to use these tools and keep your revenue management in-house. Okay, so we invite you to come and see us in the exhibitor area for a live demo, or you can go to revmaxiq.com and fill out a form there so that you can have a demo later on. Thanks so much. Hi, guys.
Nice to see you in person. I believe that we did get to demo with you a little while back. So I do have some questions. How about you guys?
Great.
Oh, yeah. I'll go first.
Okay.
Where does it pull the comps from?
Okay, so it pulls the comps. Well, which tool are you talking about?
Well,
So market-based pricing.
Yes.
Okay, market-based pricing is going to be similar to what you're familiar with the other dynamic pricing tools. So this is going to look at a specific radius around where your properties are located, and it's going to pull similar inventory based upon that radius.
like Airbnb.
Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com.
Okay, how do you, and there's no way, like this is the common problem that we see with that methodology is that you can't really see actually booked units. Is there some sort of formula that's creating an assumption that says that they actually got that amount of money or it's not an owner booking? Is there an adjustment in the formula?
It is taking the last stay value prior to it being booked, yes.
What's your pricing method?
Okay, so the price, so it depends on what you choose. So RevMax is available for $8 per unit per month, and we have pricing models that package different parts of RevMax from that starting point.
And then are you doing revenue management or is it just revenue management consulting?
It is both. You can have revenue management consulting where we just meet with your team and it's normally meant to guide somebody on your team on the use of the tools and making sure that they're using all the functionality correctly. But then we also have the full plug-in team member, revenue manager, where we will meet with your team and we will be doing the functions in the system.
The 5 different pricing options that you mentioned, can they be used independent of each other? Is it just pick one or?
I'm so glad you asked that question. So yes, as a matter of fact, if you have different types of inventory, right? So you might have some inventory that would do really well using market-based pricing, right? You feel pretty confident that what it's pulling in is going to be accurate. But then you might have unique inventory that you're like, I can't set that to the market. The market isn't going to be accurate for that. It's unique. I need to have control over that in a different way. But you still want it to dynamically move, right? You want it to see that there's demand and you want it to dynamically move. You can use 2 different types of pricing methods for your inventory.
Which APIs are you gonna, or other PMSs will you connect to first? So you said 2021, but
Well,
are you gonna blitzkrieg? Like, are we gonna see a whole bunch of them becoming available? Because right now, if you're not on Streamline, you can't use it, right?
Okay, so good question. So I don't really have anything that I can announce today, but if you were a live res user, I'd probably stop by and take a look.
It's going to take that guess.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you see, again, it's been my favorite question since sitting up here. What do you see as the biggest weakness in your system?
That we're not in enough systems.
That's too easy.
Okay, so how do you get over
there.
how do you get over the trust barrier that this was a system born out of another PMS? How do you get someone
Okay,
on another
this is
PMS system to
fantastic.
trust that
This-
their data is just being used for that one thing?
That's a fantastic question, because isn't it great that we got to test on everybody else first before we brought it to you so that we know that it works really well?
You kind of dodged that one.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Do you want him to get a little rougher? I mean, where's Milo? Why aren't you up here? All right. Hey, you know when you ladies, when you find that shirt or you're doing some online shopping and you say, I think I want those shoes, but I'm going to wait till later. I just don't know if I want to pay $300. And then the rest of the week, it just keeps popping up because you're have an abandoned cart. Well, this next contestant is from Navis, and it's going to be showing their vacation rental abandonment cart technology. Let's welcome Amir Rashid.
So with this is loud. The Navis shopping cart abandonment solution. This was something that we created a couple years ago, and it was a response to the pandemic. When we started hearing and suing of this in 2019, and we started to see the declines in March 2020, we knew that there needed to be some type of olive branch extended to the industry so we can help with recovery. So, diving deeper into the problem, well, what we saw over time is that demand continued to fluctuate, and we're still seeing that today. People still continue to dream, even though there were a lot of regulations and limitations around travel. And so with that, marketing dollars are still being spent, but being spent with consolidated teams or reduced staff. So not really understanding where the marketing dollars should go. And then in lieu of that, they wound up wasting money. We found that over time, about 84% of the money invested into digital marketing efforts were being wasted by not really understanding more traveler patterns and customer behavior. And then for every $100 of revenue that you made, well, you were losing out about $400 of that. So we realized that with vacation rentals really missing the bigger, longer term opportunity, deploying the solution really just as an olive branch with a free trial was something that we knew would actually benefit the industry. And when we dive deeper into the metrics behind it, what we see is that on average, just 2.2% of people that land in the shopping cart, enter their information, actually wind up converting into a booking. So what do you do with all that data? What do you do with that information? And how do you remain engaged when only 2.2% of visitors are actually converting? So this was the solution that we deployed. And essentially, unlike your traditional cart abandonment leads or cart abandonment platforms, where you're only sending some type of retargeting email, such as Amazon, for example, we actually decided to go another layer. And in doing so, we actually provided the reservation sales teams with the lead data captured on the abandonment or on the shopping cart page. And so in doing so, not only would the retargeting email be deployed, but on top of that, agents would have the opportunity to extend that white glove service to inquiring guests. Here's a quick case study. This is a case study that is on Spectrum Resorts, one of our clients, and we deployed this for them back in May of last year. And just in 3 months, this particular property management company and resort was actually able to generate $613,000 in revenue. On top of that, they were able to glean well over 347 different contact records, and then their agents were able to follow up in addition to the shopping cart abandonment email being deployed, which resulted in, through the combined efforts, about $1,583 in revenue per email sent. And then on top of that, they were able to achieve high occupancy rates ranging from 90 to 95%. And so when we take a look here at what you're able to do with this solution, It's still relevant today. We're seeing changes right now in demand where things are starting to level out, and so you need to be super competitive in capturing as much information on your guests so your brand can remain top of mind. And you don't have to limit yourself to just doing it through an email. Empower your agents. Empower them to own their book of business with each and every prospective guest that inquires and contacts your brand. And therefore, you'll be able to deploy not just revenue-generating strategies, but loyalty-building strategies. Capture a deeper level of guest and stay data. And one of the best things about this is not only does this map to any of the compatible booking engines, but this also feeds in through the PMS. So all the previous stay data, any of the engagement that agents have had or your brand has had with this particular prospective guest in the past will all be siphoned into one single point of truth, or what I like to call the spot, and your team will be able to nurture those relationships and generate more revenue. Any questions?
Yes.
Perfect.
So, since I'm too nice, the Navis has been historically a little bit expensive. We've seen the pivot from the vacation rental space more into the hotel space. How is this going to be priced?
So with this particular solution, it really depends on what products you have with Navis, but just as a standalone, it's just $2 per unit per month.
And then my second question is, and I'm embarrassed by my ignorance, why is this so much better than remarketing, paid digital?
Well, I think it goes back into what I said before, which is the human element, right? By empowering the agents to reach out, what we find is that not only does that engagement help with accelerating the sales cycle, but it also helps with really understanding who that individual is so you can provide them with a proper recommendation, right? Now, this is limited. If you're only doing it with digital, you have to look at all the Google Analytics, you have to dive deep, and there's a bit more guessing involved. But when you combine it with the digital marketing efforts, you combine it with the abandoned cart email being deployed, and then you add on the extra layer of having that engagement with the agents, that is actually far more efficient, and we're seeing similar results to Spectrum with our other clients.
Can you talk about the process of obtaining the guest contact information, considering they haven't booked yet? Is it difficult? Are you offering an incentive or an enticement to get their information?
So it's actually quite simple. All they have to do is just land on the checkout page. As soon as they enter their email address, we start to capture all the information that they fill into the field. So it's not a pop-up box. As soon as they put in the email, it's first name, last name, and whatever information is captured, and that's siphoned down into the CRM.
So who does this product integrate with?
Right now, it's available with our partners Blue Tent and Fuel. However, I'm sure many of you have heard and seen it on at our booth, we are now part of the Revenate family. And so with the merger of our companies, we now have access to 4X in terms of engineering, product management, product developers, and so we're forecasting a lot of innovation taking place, especially in combination with some of their beneficial components, such as reputation management, looking into social, and then with their unique AI, we'll be able to create a much more robust guest profile that will yield higher conversion rates and higher rates of loyalty.
So you're not on any of the major PMSs right now? Like if someone was on Streamline or LiveRes or Track or anything like that, could they use this tool to?
Nope, not today.
Okay.
However, they should be. It's on our roadmap to really start nurturing that, again, with the more robust engineering staff that we'll have available to us within the next 12 months or so.
So it sounds like if you can't connect it through the website, a phone call would be the only other way to collect this information. I mean, that's not cart abandonment, that's phone call abandonment.
Correct.
We used Navis for that for a long time, but to Travis's point, it was a bit expensive. Could you use this tool like that independently, standalone, where an agent could just pull up that for $2 a unit? And
Absolutely,
use it?
you could.
Okay.
And so that's the benefit to it, is that you still have access to our reservation sales suite. Only the components relevant to you having access to the leads, as well as some reporting specific to that tool.
Does it integrate with anything like any other voice over IP systems, Ring Central, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that wouldn't have to do with the shopping cart abandonment. That would be more so for the reservation sales suite solution, but
I'm
yes.
only asking because if you can't get connected through the website on cart abandonment, is there another angle that you could use the tool?
When it comes to I guess, using the tool just as a lead management solution. You wouldn't be able to deploy it in that fashion.
Okay.
Yep.
That's more of a general question. You mentioned COVID-19, and that was the catalyst behind coming up with this technology or this solution. Have you done any research on, specifically during COVID, what were some of the reasons behind some of the abandonment that
Oh, yeah. A lot of it had to do just with limitations and then fear, right? So people were still inquiring, people were still dreaming, but they didn't want to make the commitment, obviously, due to the news, right? We were seeing cases spike up. I'm in Florida, so we were in a hotspot state. And then there were just limitations around travel. And so it didn't stop people from inquiring or taking a look, but it did inhibit them from wanting to go ahead and secure the reservation just because of all the uncertainty. Yeah. Go for it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
Thank you all. Thank you, judges.
Good job, Amir. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I think Amir is also in the running for best dressed of the presenters. Good look. Good look. But if we could do our other presenters a favor, can you guys move down about 4 feet? I felt like poor Amir was going to fall off the stage. He was doing spins and cartwheels. He, didn't want to turn his back on the people that are in front of him. So anyway, so Matt, I just did you a little favor there. So welcome our next presenter. And by the way, at the end, we're going to bring all of the presenters up so you can remember who everyone was. So from yesterday, Andrew and Jennifer and Oliver, I see you in the room. Just make sure you know. But right now, it's time for Matt Renner from Track Property Management Software.
Guys. So I'm Matt. I'm a Principal Solution Consultant with Track, and just so everyone understands, TravelNet Solutions is our parent company, and then we have a number of products in our brand portfolio. So Track is our property management operating software, CRM. Atlas is our digital e-commerce suite, which includes our booking engine platform and marketing services. And then Resorts and Lodges, which was kind of our first business and first foray into this industry, and is a niche portal for vacation destinations. If you're looking for me on the schedule or anything, yesterday I was Pat Power in the session with Chad, and today I'm Michelle Marquis. So, one a woman and one tall, both of which I am not. So, I believe this is a battleground where we're talking about ways to make more revenue, and how Track can help in that way. And there's a couple of ways we figured it out. I think if you talk to our customers, there's a lot in this room. I think they're doing things that we probably didn't imagine they would be using the software for, such as hooking into a replicate database and building their own P&L by property reports and accessing all kinds of data that they're using to drive operational efficiency across their entire suite. Not just revenue data, it's operations data, it's people data, it's owner data, it's unit data, and all those things. So I think beyond what's on these slides here today that I'm going to touch base on, I think an overarching part of our platform is the ability to access your data, build it into a BI or a data warehouse, and then build your own tools on top of that, as well as on top of our API, which has over 350 endpoints. So for those of you that are tech savvy and you would like a software that allows you to build, I think Track's a pretty good solution for that. The three things we'll focus on here today is the PMS, the reservation team system, which is most similar to a Navis type solution, which many of you have either used or still use, and then our CRM. Part of our PMS is distribution. One of our goals is to have the biggest channels as direct integrations with Track. Today we have Vrbo and Airbnb, both of which we charge no fees for. So that's a way some of our customers make more revenue, is we just don't charge them fees. Over the first 6 months of this year, we did roughly $289 million in bookings to our customers, or our customers did $289 million on Vrbo, It was about 20% of their booking mix. They did about 7% of their booking mix with Airbnb. It was about 98 million. So if you add that up, 370 million in 6 months, no fees. We saved our customers probably $3.5 to $6 million in channel manager fees. We also play nice with channel managers because they add a lot of value in a lot of areas, and there's certain channels that we don't connect with, and we don't charge for access to those. So that's one way with our direct integrations. Another way is with dynamic fees. A lot of companies, we have found that our customer base makes roughly 49% of the revenue from commission and 50 to 51% actually from fees. And they use Track software to do a lot of different things with fees that just you can't be done in most PMS systems. So we've really built a lot of depth of functionality. I'm not going to go into all of the different types of fees that we can do. And I did not pick this slide. Full disclosure. I'm not saying I don't like it. I didn't choose it. All right? But if you want to know how you can do fees by unit type, if you're managing a lot of units and you need to update a lot of fees quickly, you can do that in Track. You don't have to go one by one. So a lot of it is, yes, the functionality, but it's actually how it was architected in our software that saves people hours and hours and hours and hours of doing things manually. And then our direct integrations. We believe that some companies want an all-in-one solution, and certainly we have a lot of companies that just use Track for the vast majority of their functionality, and it works. But there's some really good purpose-built software in this room, and companies like Beyond and Price Labs and Wheelhouse, and we just think these people are so good at what they do that if you want to use one of those, we want to have the best integrations with those solutions. That's all. 5 minutes went a lot faster than I thought.
So this may be an obvious question. You're just saying the Track doesn't have a built-in solution. You can do dynamic pricing, but for actual revenue management, you want to use a third party.
Well, I think...
or are you just trying to schedule demos?
Yeah, well, didn't work with you. Look, if you're going to buy Track, you're not going to buy it for our automated dynamic pricing, right? There's a lot of tools we can import, export. A lot of revenue managers, especially we're built for the enterprise. Our customers tend to be larger customers. A lot of these revenue managers want more control, right? They're not just automating everything, and so we build tools to help revenue managers control their pricing, set prices, do it quickly, do it in bulk. We have not built out a competing solution that's going to compete with Beyond Pricing. If that's the way you want to operate, we recommend going best in class and getting one of those solutions. And then plug it into Track, and it's not going to be robots logging in and do it. Like, it's going to be a legit, really good API, really well supported, and it's going to work really well.
So is there a marketplace cost to connect to different providers, or is it just straight through?
No.
Straight through?
I think I know the answer to this, but are you open to the other third-party solutions as well to bolt onto Track, or is it just those three options?
No, we're open. I think we got.
Would you connect to RevMax?
Would we connect to RevMax? You'd have to ask Ryan. Ask Ryan or Michelle. I don't make those decisions. I think, look, we have a connection with Navis. I mean, we went head to head for how many years, and we're major competitors. Michelle worked at, she helped build that company to be in the position it was. And we've got an integration with Navis now, and we've got customers using it, even though we've got the complete solution in our software if they just want to use that. So I think if you look at Salesforce model, that's what we're focused on. We're focusing on building the industry cloud. And if you're going to build the industry cloud, you have to allow your customers to use the tools that work best to operate their business. And I think that's our general philosophy.
Go ahead.
I'm impressed. It sounds good, but I'm mostly curious. Like, you brought up Navis. Would you connect with their cart abandonment tool? I mean, is that on the roadmap, or is?
I'm not aware of it being on our roadmap. Again, if your philosophy is to build the industry cloud, Salesforce integrates with Oracle, right? You look at outside of this market, I don't think you can let the politics of companies get in the way of the profitability of your customers. And I think that's our general philosophy. I'm not saying that it wouldn't, that there wouldn't be things that don't make sense for us to do, but I think if you operate with that philosophy, then you're going to try to do things that are going to make sense for your customer base.
Good philosophy.
Oh, yeah, well said. So a little bit different direction. It's just as one of the fastest property management, or you've experienced an immense amount of growth over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
What do you foresee some of the issues in being able to handle that growth? What is your, what are some of the weaknesses that you see in your system right now that you'd like to see some improvement on?
Yeah, well, it's two questions. So handling the growth, I think we've been really blessed to have customers that are a lot that are in this room, some that are not in this room, that understood that they were not just buying a product, but they were buying the people of our company, right? They're counting on us for trust, for support, for these things, and we haven't been perfect. I'll tell you right now, we had some big hiccups in North Carolina, and we had to go back to the drawing board and spend a couple $1 million to re-engineer part of our whole trust accounting system to make sure that those people were taken care of. And we had to backburner some features that we really wanted to build that other folks needed because we had to deliver that, right? So those are some of the hiccups, but I mean, Milo's live, Steve's live, Village Realty is live, Brett Robinson's live. We shipped all of our big customers. We didn't lose one. So I think, while we're not perfect, we're definitely working on it. We've definitely built scale. We own 100% of our company. We're doing all this through organic growth. We decided to stay independent so we could have control of how we build, how we engineer, how we implement, et cetera.
Solid.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Matt. All right. You guys got a little better there, a little feisty. Did you notice how people laughed when you got like that? They want to see some action.
Hello.
Oh, you're already up here. Wait, get back. I'm not ready for you. Okay. I'm very welcoming. Wait till you see me when I'm 80. All right. So I did want to alert you that you have these cards on your table. Everyone look and grab a card. This is your voting. If you're not going to use the app, because I heard apps don't make it very much longer in the world. But if you have your little sheet, you're going to want to, I'm going to just say that you circle who you're voting for. We have 2 more contestants. Don't circle them yet. We have 2 more. And Sean is like dying to get up here. But this is how you're going to vote. And then in the back there before you leave, in the back over here, either door, you see baskets. And you'll put your vote in there. If you don't vote by 2 o'clock, your vote won't count. Got it? All right. Now, we got somebody chomping at the bit to get up here. You guys excited? So, Sean Raftree from I call it Lumpum, LMPM, is going to talk about Trip Manager. Come on up.
All right. I'm Sean with LMPM. Great to be here. LMPM actually stands for Lightmaker Property Manager. We're a next generation property management software. We're on a bold mission to become the platform of choice for the industry. We've caught a lot of people by surprise coming out of left field with a really powerful product. And we're really excited to be here and show it to everyone that stops by. If you are thinking of a technology change, we really encourage you to come by and have a chat with us. And we're kind of taking a different approach to the topic today, but everyone's aware that people spend loads of cash while they're on vacation. Actually, more money while they're on a trip than planning that trip. So with our tools, we can enable everyone in this room to maximize their gross booking value. And what we call that is our trip manager and our product manager more specifically. This allows you to create complex quotes for guests, make it really easy for them to convert, and pull in tons of extra revenue through ancillary products and services that are available in your market. And of course, all this is available on our integrated websites as well. So we're going to take you through a live recording here. And what we're doing, I think this is started. There we go. So Amy and Rebecca need a vacation, obviously, after this. And we're going to create 3 options for them on the fly based on what they may or may not want for their accommodations. We're going to go back in and we're going to add on some products that we've built into the system. So very quickly we can, for example, add a golf cart rental onto all 3 of those options so they can stay off their feet. We'll also go in, we'll throw in 2 90-minute massages for both of them, which are well deserved. And so you can add these things onto all options or just specific options. So let's go ahead and throw a deep sea fishing tour on just option B for 4 guests. And what's great about this as well is that you can add on trip fees too that are specific to a specific option. So maybe they're bringing a pet with option A, maybe grandma's coming option B, they need health insurance. Maybe they're bringing their Tesla, so we'll throw a Tesla charging station up there. Now what we're going to do very quickly is through our CRM, send a quote out to that guest and deliver a nice clean email with all those itineraries broken out separately. They can talk amongst themselves, their various family members, decide what they want to do, and quickly do a one-click buy from that email straight to the checkout page with all that specific itinerary loaded. They can add on extra things, add on extra fees, and check out very quickly. So now that booking's come through, we can see everything, the property and all the activities associated with it. We can even go in and call that guest and try and upsell them further at that point. But what I want to show here is that it's really robust on the back end. So products and activities can have different booking policies from the property itself, which becomes really important. Same with rental agreements and liability waivers, as well as work orders. So you can use the work order system and the automations to process, drive, delivering these various things. And then we'll just go into the back end real quick here. So we've got LMPM Beach Supply, just kind of basic company info on them, their tax setup, who's taking payment, if it's us, if it's you, the property manager, or the vendor themselves. Full accounting support, so all the bills, all the payments, all the transactions, and then finally all the products associated with that specific vendor. So we'll go and we'll take a look at bike rentals real quick. You can see here that we support really complex price groups and price offerings, so you can support things like lift tickets that can get really complicated. You can choose different layouts. You can load in your images. Again, setting up tax. We create GL accounts to track revenue on the fly whenever you add a product. You can add custom fields to collect information from the guest, and then of course you can tie a specific booking policy to that activity or product. So once you've built all this out, it's available on all the LMPM integrated websites, so a shopper can find their own self-service their property. Done? Okay. 5 seconds just to finish off. Damien from Whistler Platinum, he's the guy who gave us this idea. He's been on the system for 3 years. He's got close to 100 activities built in, and he's supposedly pulling about 35% of his net profit from his business off upsells and activities using LMPM.
This is exciting. You just stepped into my wheelhouse. So we've got I'm going to almost ask these questions as if I'm a potential customer. So we got a vacation rental group, a wine tour and coach company, event venue, and a couple other things. But use a lot of different online systems outside of just property management systems. So one of the questions, just so I understand, are you integrating on to the various checkout process? So if I'm checking out as a customer on the front end of Stay Charlottesville or our sites, where are you coming into that process? Or are you not, and this is separate?
We're not part of that.
Okay.
That's built out by you, based on your relationship with the local vendors. Down the road, we'll probably integrate with, Viator and some of those other activity providers.
So it's like you set the price and it CRMs the vendor as well as the customer when they've executed the transaction?
Yeah,
So for scheduling and all of that?
Exactly. So you can notify a vendor if, hey, you have a bike rental delivery coming up on this day. You can build them into the system as a user and notify them.
Okay.
Just like a cleaner would, complete a work order.
I noticed that you had the Tesla charging station in there. Who are you doing that through, or is that?
That was just for fun.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that is definitely a fast-growing segment in the space.
Yeah, I think Jason from Key Data's got some kind of a new thing going with Tesla charging stations down in the Panhandle. That's where it came from.
So
You keep going.
as far as a revenue management or rate tool, in your demo, we didn't get to see that, and I'm curious, can you describe what that looks like? How are we putting in our rates? Is it going to track is connected to someone else and some of the others have it built in? What's the revenue management and rate strategy built into this platform?
So we don't have any connected revenue management partners for the products themselves. Again, that might come later. And we have a similar stance.
So is it just static by season, by night of the week? How does it look?
So lift tickets, if you're going to work with Vail Resorts or something, you're going to have a 1 day, a 2 day, a 3 day, a 4 day, a 7 day, a 14 day.
Well, I'm speaking more for your nightly rates for a vacation rental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I'll answer probably your next question. Definitely something we have planned for 2022 is a pretty major rate infrastructure project. So in the meantime, we do connect with Price Labs, Wheelhouse, Beyond, and anyone else that a customer might need. It's really easy to integrate with pricing companies. So we're fairly agnostic on that at the moment.
So if you don't connect to one of those, you just do it, I'm just going to use the word old school, you're just putting your static rate in by season, by night?
Yep.
Okay.
Either with your client and Whistler or other clients that you may have, what would you say is the percentage of guests that are booking either through your reservation or your customer service group, where it's a more manual process versus their online picking and choosing and adding these services to their experience?
It varies across the board. I would say probably maybe 25% of our clients are using this. We're going to help some folks stand this up more as we move into the fall. But they can self-service themselves. You can get a VRBO booking. You can call them, upsell them from that point. Another great use of this is for owner stays as well, where no one makes any money, especially high-end owners. You can really turn a stay where you make nothing into a stay where you can pull some decent margin out of that.
Do you have an integration with Fair Harbor?
We do not.
Okay, because you just had mentioned Viator, so I was wondering if it was going in that direction.
Yeah, we have some research and development to do in terms of identifying the best partners for it. But right now, yeah, it's manual self-service. It's based on your local, relationships.
Can't remember, did you mention costs? How's your product priced out?
Come again?
The cost to use your service? Is it per property, per unit? Do you have a margin built onto the services?
We're transactional. Once a client gets to 50 properties or more, it's almost always a custom deal.
Where does it start?
It starts at 1%.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sean. Good stuff. Okay, one more. You said the last one was in your wheelhouse?
Well, that was.
Okay. Well, you'll really like this one because this one is Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse
Yeah,
Pro
clever.
with Andrew Kitchen. Come on up, Ed.
I love that line, by the way. That was great. All right. Hello, everyone. What a fun conference. Let's see. It is working. 1 second. How do I restart it? There we go. Okay. Super excited to be here, everyone. I'm Andrew from Wheelhouse. We're going to share a few things we're doing around our pricing platform now. We're going to start with a little bit of kind of looking back. So first, what is Wheelhouse? Wheelhouse is a software that powers dynamic pricing, competitive sets, market reports. We're known for being easy to set up, customize, and automate. And in February, we launched Wheelhouse Pro. Wheelhouse Pro, which you're seeing kind of play here, everything we see is live today. But this is a tool to make it really easy for portfolios to adjust their pricing. Yes, we automate and we offer dynamic pricing, but it's super easy to come in and customize your strategy around a whole bunch of things, whether it's last minute discounts for our future premiums, whatever you want to do with the tool, super easy to do. Our team likes to say it takes 3 clicks to create any revenue management strategy. You can go adjust prices in a bunch of different ways. We can talk about that more as we go. In February, we also launched market reports. These are live in every single market we're in. They are free. Come check them out. There's a lot of information here that will look at your lead time, booking window, et cetera. A lot of helpful information that hopefully helps you drive your business forward. In April, we launched comp sets. We have a custom comp set that is determined by our pricing algorithm. We automatically identify your competitors. We update that every single week as we watch booking patterns near you occur. And you can also come in and customize comp sets. You can create 3 comp sets as well. Come in, add any listings. You can see pricing for all your competitors, export their rates, and do a whole bunch of other things as well. But here's what we're actually here to share. We believe that the old pricing paradigm was tell me. People showed you rates. The new pricing paradigm is show me. And by that I mean we are aiming to be hyper-transparent around everything we do to empower you to set your revenue strategy as effectively as possible. This is a visual of our booking-based pricing engine. There are a lot of different components of it. The reactive demand model is a super important part of it. Just to cover that one quickly, what that does is looking at booking patterns near you and understanding how your market is booking and making adjustments. This is the type of thing that coming out of COVID or during COVID was hyper-defensible. I would highly recommend, if you have a pricing engine, ask the team you're working with what's powering their reactive demand model. Super important. In April, we also published all of our research. So if you go to Wheelhouse on our blog, you can publish about 90% of what we've created, but we have years of research that's gone into this. We think people should understand exactly how their pricing engine is performing and what it's doing. We're looking at how we define your comp set here in this visual, but as great revenue managers like to say, tell me the banks of the river, I'll get myself down it. In July, we launched Insights. Basically what we did is we took that pricing engine, we brought it to the front end of the tool. So now you can see everything your pricing engine is seeing. You can see your predictive model. You can see your reactive model. You can see how we blend those models to inform your rates. If you disagree with us on any part of it, great. Everything you do to customize your strategy teaches us more. You can also export everything, which means you can now audit your pricing engine, right? You can see what Wheelhouse recommended 7 days ago, 30 days ago, et cetera. So whereas I would like to say the old paradigm was actually trust us, we'd invite you to audit us. This is just for fun. Last week we launched Booking and Pacing, V2. It's the ability to come in and look exactly where your bookings are flowing in. You can see on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, you can zoom into a daily level. You can see all of your pickup, a super easy way to understand your portfolio and how your revenue profile is developing. We actually launched the first version of it 4 weeks ago, got a lot more great feedback, launched a new version last week. Pretty fun. Pricing, flatter flex. Our job is to help you earn more money. Your job is to game us and keep more money. That means you can split your portfolio, you can put certain listings on flat, you can put certain on flex, you can change at any time. Our job is to earn you more money, your job is to keep more money. That's it. Thanks so much.
Andrew, where are you pulling your data from? Are you scraping? Are you pulling? What are your sources?
We currently do have some scrape data for sure. We also partner with Key Data. So we signed a partnership with them. They're giving us a whole bunch of really interesting data. We have also launched APIs in December, so we now have 12 teams built on top of us, giving us data as well. So a bunch of different sources, scraped, partnerships, APIs. We have also 50,000 linked properties that we obviously learn a lot from as well.
Who's your target customer?
Large portfolios.
So you mentioned auditing. Do you have a tool, or are you able to look at time periods and say, if I had used your service, then this is what the revenue would have been across this subset of properties?
So the short answer is there are three methodologies we use to measure performance of the model. So if you're using dynamic pricing, it's actually really hard to know exactly how you would have done, right? So the three ways we measure it, we publish all this as well, right? You should go ask any revenue management service, like, what are the methodologies they use to measure their model? That's as important as model design itself. So we look at historic performance. What did you do before and after? We look at how you did versus your comp set before and after. And we look at hypothetical, which is how much do we think we're going to make you, and then how much do we actually make you. So we use three methodologies. We can't be 100% precise, because you just don't know. It's not a perfect A/B test ever. So we have three methodologies that triangulate to the truth. The truth.
Which PMSs are you connected to?
A whole bunch at this point. LMPM, Track, Guesty, Streamline, a whole bunch of folks.
And the cost for the connection or the service?
No cost. For connection, no cost.
And then the service cost, like to access the data?
Flat or flex. So you can either pay us, our top price, the highest price you pay is $19 per listing per month, $19.99. Or we do charge 1%. Both of those are discounted portfolio size. But again, you can flex your portfolio however you want, even seasonally, right?
And then this interconnection to key data, is there an additional cost there, or is that's part of it? Whatever package you choose there?
Correct.
Are y'all doing revenue management for these various property management companies, or is it?
It's a good question. We help out a little bit. We're better at training you and your team how to use it. Like the nice thing about the tool and the platform is it helps your revenue management team scale very effectively. So we'll do training and onboarding. We have really good revenue managers on the team, but we don't right now offer full-time revenue management as a service.
So like you said, it sounds like the larger portfolio company, someone that already has a revenue manager, or just someone that's got that prowess on their team, that's who you're really looking to work with, more so than the boots on the ground manager.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this interesting tool where it's super easy to use for anyone, an individual could use it, but also for teams. You can do really kind of high power stuff, customize exactly how you want. So I'd like to say it's kind of like we target from a sales perspective large portfolio's. That's what we're interested in. We think they're the most interesting revenue management strategies.
You could train a boots on the ground manager to set up, is that part of the onboarding, initiate, what does that look like, integration with a manager?
So if you go read reviews about Wheelhouse online, what you'll see cited the most is our customer service. We have 24/7 customer support. You can chat us at any time, you can email us at any time, et cetera. We have a really good onboarding team. So we just onboarded, for example, a customer with 1,200 properties, and they basically gave us the specs they wanted. I think we were set up in 3 days.
So Wheelhouse is outside of the vacation rental space as well, correct?
As in we price some hotels, et cetera? A few, but mostly focused on vacation rentals and short-term stays.
So you don't have any other industries that Wheelhouse services? You're mainly after vacation rental?
Our bread and butter is short-term rentals, vacation rentals, yeah. Urban and vacation destinations.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
That's it. You guys got some work to do. Let's hear it for our judges, CJ Stam, Travis Wilburn, Harrington Carter. Well done, gentlemen. You can go and deliberate. We'll hear your decision later for the Innovator Award. So let's call them all up so you guys.
How do we do that? We haven't.
How do you three do it?
Are we going?
You do what you do. You guys get.
Get off the stage.
Yeah, get off the stage. And get off your phone, too, by the way. Okay, so we had all these folks in the last 2 days, and now it's up to you. Not only do these guys vote for a winner, we have the People's Choice Award. So you folks up in the gold room, you have to use your app because we didn't have enough paper ballots, or you can come down here and risk your life with the rest of us and get a paper ballot. Okay, so we have all these folks introduced. Come on up. Let's see. First of all, yesterday afternoon it was Andrew McConnell. Andrew McConnell from Rented. Come on up. We want to see you on the stage.
Run. You get more points.
Yeah, we get to see your face as well.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. And Demand IQ by Key Data with Jennifer Talbert.
Yeah, just line up right here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, stand right there,
We'll
please.
do a little pose. Yes, that's right. You could have brought a sign.
Go.
Okay, sorry. Next, yesterday afternoon was Oliver Marcinski from Price Labs. Here he is, man in the red shirt and the great haircut. I'm so jealous. But I hear in the future hair actually grows back.
It
somebody
does.
told me that, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that on you. All right, and then we have Maureen Schilling from RevMax, our first contestant today. Come on up, Maureen.
All right. Followed by the man who's already won the Best Dressed Award, Amir Rashid from Navis. Come on up.
We were definitely best dressed.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right, and then we have Matt Renner from Track.
Okay, Sean Raftery. I got the vibe of Al Pacino and Clint Eastwood. Anybody else? There he is.
Come on up.
Yeah. Make my day. Vote for me. Right?
And finally, in the wheelhouse, Andrew Kitchell.
Okay. So you all know who they are.
Who will you vote for? Look your best, like face,
Pose,
like yes, nice.
Signs.
Yeah, Amir is
Okay.
totally doing
He's
it. Done
this before.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Let's give a round of applause for these
Thanks,
brave
you guys, for your
souls.
bravery. Excellent work.
All right, you can
Now get
exit.
off stage.
Get off the stage.
Good stuff.